something and who needs to be remembered. More than 3 years later, we still tweet every day, featuring women from across the world, all time periods and all fields of endeavour. We tried to find a day which was important to each woman, rather than the day she was born or died. When she registered a patent, won an election, scooped a gold medal, or was convicted of a heinous crime. Why haven't I heard of her? Is the response we receive on Twitter again and again. And again. And someone needs to write a book, or play, or film about her.
We have been overwhelmed by how many fascinating women we had never heard of. Women who have done amazing things, overcoming obstacles of sexism, racism, and poverty. Some women we had heard of, but thought they were the exception, an anomaly. Marie Curie, Ada Lovelace. Or we had heard of them but weren't aware of the breadth of their achievements, that they had also done something not typically feminine. Florence Nightingale was not only a nurse, the Lady of the Lamp, but also a statistician. Nina Simone was a civil rights activist as well as a singer. Even when the achievement of a woman from history is discovered, usually by a female historian, it is promptly forgotten again, and so it has to be rediscovered and rediscovered.
How and why are men's achievements remembered? First, we learn about them in school, and then awareness of these men is constantly enforced and reiterated by statues in our streets, by the names of those streets, by the names of universities and institutes. We watch films about men. Historical documentaries tell us about their accomplishments. Our galleries are filled with paintings of women, but not by women. This is not a women's history book. It is a history book. It was incredibly difficult for us to choose the 366 women or groups of women you will hear about in this audiobook. Another set of editors would have made entirely different choices. There are so many women who have made our world better, and sometimes worse, in so many ways. Here is our selection. We'll hand you over to our talented narrator Imogen to bring their histories to life. Enjoy.
January. Something impelled this wanderlust. I would not be detained. Aloha Wonderwell. The language of history. Every history is a story of the past. Historians are products of their time, and each word is informed by the writer's own experience and background. In researching this book, we noticed how language used by historians sometimes excludes women entirely. When they are included or even celebrated, the words often belittle them. The classic example is the use of man to describe all humans. Lazy writers say, this is generic. Thoughtful writers acknowledge that this isn't good enough. Reading, when early man came to the Peak District, he settled the valley areas. We simply don't see women. If you doubt this, try it the other way around. When early woman came to the Peak District, she settled the valley areas. Here's another example. Many articles tell us that Catherine of Aragon, Henry VIII's first wife, failed to provide him with a male heir. A monarch in the 1530s would certainly want a son to secure the future of the dynasty. However, that sentence doesn't just state a fact, it embodies a point of view. The Queen should have provided a son. In not doing so, she failed. These tiny accumulations build up in every history, like scale inside a kettle. The historians who wrote that phrase, and students who unquestioningly absorbed and repeated it, including myself, were using the language of their